Lesson 83, another review. Oops, sitting on something. So today in 83, we're reviewing lesson 65 and 66. My only function is the one God gave me. That's good news. My happiness and my function are one. My only function is the one God gave me, 65. Remember, this is the morning one, and then the other one after lunch, we'll do the other one. Okay, so I have no function but the one God gave me. This recognition releases me from all conflict because it means I cannot have conflicting goals. Notice it doesn't mean that I don't have conflicting goals. It just means if I accept my function, I can't have conflicting goals because that's the only one. But right here and now in this present state of awareness that I have of myself, perhaps I have many goals that seem to be conflicting. Right? As I allow in each of those particular situations my only function to be my purpose of fulfillment in those situations, I'm bringing each one of those seemingly many separate goals or different goals into alignment with my own greater good in the acceptance that my only function is the one God gave me. Some of those things will fall away. Some of those things will stay with you. It doesn't really matter. It's just the way transition goes. I have no function but the one God gave me. This recognition releases me from all conflict because it means I cannot have conflicting goals. With one purpose only, I am always certain what to do, what to say, and what to think. All doubt must disappear, and I acknowledge that my only function is the one God gave me. More specific applications of this idea might take these forms. My perception of this does not change my function. This does not give me a function other than the one God gave me. Let me not use this to justify a function God did not give me. Okay, remember we read in that earlier lesson, forgiveness is my function. Okay, so in everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, if you're a Clint Eastwood fan, the good, the bad, and the ugly, my function is to forgive the lot of it, the good and the bad, the healthy and the sick, what I think is the right or the wrong. Okay, any temporal association that ascribes a value to my avatar as, let's say, a way to locate myself in time and space as this identity. I think I'm this and I have a certain comprehension of the world, blah, blah, the story that is involved in this avatar. None of it is true. It's all an illusion. There is no world. I'm freeing my mind from the idea that there is a world. I'm freeing my mind from the idea that the world that I think I see with my body's eyes, which represents nothing but temptation, so that I can transcend that through a meditative and prayerful experience of the heart for the healing of the mind in order to bear witness and to remember the truth of myself as spirit. Sounds simple when I say it, doesn't it? But it's like it takes 365 lessons, literally, and I'm using the wide edition of A Course in Miracles. You can Google that, A Course in Miracles wide edition, part A and part B. It's necessary to have this workbook and to use the text, which is a required course, by the way, simply because my mind is so inured with the ideas of what I think things are, that without some kind of structure that works as a kind of, let's say, anti-structure, I don't know how to express it. Anti-structure is not, it's not anti-anything really, but works as an alternative structure. I would find it virtually impossible to break or to free myself from those bonds of association that I've placed between myself and everything I think I see. Right? Literally, I need a miracle, which is lucky because this is A Course in Miracles and I happen to be holding it in my hand, and all I have to do is read the lessons and apply them as it says to in the morning and the afternoon, in this case. So the afternoon one, my happiness and my function are one. All things that come from God are one. They come from oneness and must be received as one. Fulfilling my function is my happiness because both come from the same source, and I must learn to recognize what makes me happy if I would find happiness. Some useful forms of specific application of this idea are: this cannot separate my happiness from my function. The oneness of my happiness and my function remain wholly unaffected by this. Nothing, including this, can justify the illusion of happiness apart from my function. And I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So salvation, that's what we're pursuing here. We're working at our own salvation, using these lessons to assist us, which is invaluable assistance, by the way, invaluable assistance to do that. And hopefully at these review lessons, we're in the early 80s now, you're beginning to get a sense of what it is, not only that you have denied in coming to this experience, or in using your free will to choose for this experience of separation, or the potential or possibility of separation, which is the belief that we have locked away in here somewhere that we're uncovering gradually through the witnessing to the changes out there as we change our minds in here about them. But hopefully you're coming to some conclusion that there is a better way, and that all you need to do is simply follow the instructions. Follow the instructions, and don't make any instructions up for yourself. Just do the lessons, okay? I can't emphasize that enough. Just do the lessons. This is a period of mind training that we're entering into. We're up to the 80s, the early 80s lessons. Just do these lessons and try not to overcomplicate your lives with taking on more crusades out in the world, because I guarantee you this one will be enough for you to be able to deal with in the time frame that it's set for, which is 12 months. Okay, it'll be plenty. It's a 12-month mind training period. Beyond that, whatever, there's no structure. I do know people that have read this book year after year after year and done the lessons year after year after year. If it's not working for you, set it aside, because at some point there has to be a conscious shift, which is the whole point of this book. And perhaps, and I have heard of people coming to this too early, you know, of having discovered this in a coffee shop, or somebody giving it to them as a gift or something like that. And there's no coincidences, but sometimes there's just so much going on that you need to just be able to walk away for a second so that you can concentrate on this. And I actually do have people sometimes saying, oh, I don't have the time to do these lessons. It's like, well, if you don't have the time, you don't have the time, right? Jesus will arrange all of time and space for you, okay, if you ask, so that you will have time to do these lessons. But remembering that the bottom line, the presiding foundation of the reason that we're doing this is because we don't want God. I've made my life busy, deliberately busy, so I can keep God out. I can keep all these ideas at bay and run my own show, paddle my own canoe. And the last thing I want to do is drop my oars in the water and just free rein down the river and go with the flow, you know. And if you find that, then maybe come back to it at another point, another time. So there has to be a little bit of willingness, at least a little bit of willingness to change. If there's not, if you're just simply finding that you can't fit these lessons in, can't possibly do this workbook, I don't have time, you know, it's like, all right. So that was lesson 83, and I only mention that because I often have people that write to me and tell me such things. So lesson 84 and lesson 84 tomorrow. 67, love created me like itself, and 68, love holds no grievances. That's a super good one. See you then.